Thanks for joining our special live coverage of policy discussions with citizens' follow-up measures. The South Korean government has carried out 24 rounds of policy discussions with citizens since the beginning of the year. There, the government-related ministers, departments, and experts, as well as citizens, took part in talks on improving people's livelihoods. And now, follow-up measures will be reviewed to make sure the new policies will be implemented in a swift manner. Now, today's discussion will focus on the economy. Like the last time, President Yoon Suk-yeol will deliver his opening remarks. Now, while we wait for him to arrive, let's also look over some of the sessions that took place in the past few weeks. The Yoon administration's efforts to boost the nation's all-time low birth rate continue, meaning continual care. The so-called 늘봄 program will offer parents and guardians 2 hours of free extracurriculum sessions for their children before and after school during hours that overlap with their commute and work. It looks like President Yoon has arrived to deliver his remarks. We'll come back right afterwards.
국민 의례를 하겠습니다. 모두
We pledge our allegiance.
바랍니다.
Please head towards the flag.
경례.
Salute to the flag.
모두 자리에 앉아주시기
Please take
바랍니다.
your seats. Thank you.
지금부터
Now, starting
민생토론회
from now, we will
후속조치
begin the
2차
policy
회의를
discussions with the citizens follow-up measures meeting. First of all, we will have the president give a speech.
여러분 반갑습니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. So 2 days ago, we had a meeting on social sector. Now we will begin a follow-up measure meeting on the economy sector. So in order to review the economic sector, we have decided to hold this meeting today. Last meeting, we went through 2 principles of the public discussions with citizens. It's not just about reviewing, but it is about swift response, and this is the government that we will become. And it's not about the perspective of the policy provider, but we will think on the perspective of the citizens who will be receiving the policies. That is why we have decided to prepare measures that are and policies that are cross and pan-governmental departments, and we will review how the policy implementation has been changed compared to the past. Starting from this January, there has been 24 policy discussions with citizens, and it literally means that it is for the citizens, it is by the citizens, and it is of the citizens. During the preparation stages, various government departments have gathered together and listened to and reflected the opinions of the citizens to make the agenda. And the discussions were participated by many citizens, and they were able to provide their opinions freely. And it was very swift, and we were on site, and discussions have been made to provide answers, and this has been reflected to the government's policy. During the past 3 months, the public discussions with citizens, we have been able to dispatch our staff to places where the citizens require. So it was a public discussion for the people, and the distance that I have actually moved to implement the policies for the public discussions were more than 550 times, and I've also met more than 1,800 people, and among them included middle school first graders who will lead the future of Korea, and those who have written the history of Korea. At the Nilbom school discussions, we had a working mom who had 4 children, and we were able to hear the difficulties of raising a child. And during the youth discussions, we had many youth who were able to provide the challenges that they were facing, and we have been able to discuss those challenges together. And that is why we have been focusing on setting the 24 policies as the first priority. So today it's about taxation, SMEs, and small-sized commercial sector. All these are very closely related to the government's policy. First of all, the policies that were being able to implement right away have been implemented about reducing the electricity rate, and it's about reforming the taxation stages, and we have also been providing benefits for phone fees as well. In addition, for matters that needed changes and revisions to the law, the government has been making efforts to implement and revise and go through the process as much as possible on the first half of the year. And on the 21st, we will make sure that all these legislations will be passed during the 21st parliamentary session. And reconstruction, reform, and regulations will be reduced, and we'll also revise the reconstruction standards and provide financial support and taxation support. And these are all very impending and imperative policies that needs to be implemented right away. And we will try to prepare the policies that have direct impact on the people right away, and we will make sure that these policies are passed once the new parliamentary session begins. There are various laws that we are trying to revise and legislate, including those for the elderly and for the SMEs as well. In addition, policies and projects that can be implemented with this year's budget will be implemented right away. And those that will be carried out in 2025 will be reflected to the budget without any setbacks. In addition, specific assignments that have been dealt in policy discussions will be reviewed to see how it is being carried out, and this is what I will explain briefly. During the past January, there was the first policy discussion, and it was about the legislation that has been expanding the regulations for the businessmen. And in addition, we have been making efforts in order to build the computerization process, and also making efforts to stabilize the price in order to help the livelihoods of the people. And we have been revising the law in order to expand the supply and reduce the market price in order to help the livelihood. And in addition, in order to lessen the burden of the citizens, for the first time, we have totally revised the law on unspecified and unfair payment. So 18 of them have been demolished and dismantled, and also 14 of them have been revised, and therefore have reduced 2 trillion won worth of these unfair fees for the citizens. And during the second public discussion, according to the free opinions will of the citizens, we have been allowing reconstruction. We have not allowed unsafe reconstruction by revising the law, and also we have alleviated the standards for and the criteria for reconstructing outdated and outaged the buildings in order to assist the building reconstruction of old buildings. And we have also designated 5 cities, and we have changed. And by depending on the region, we have conducted 60 meetings in order to carry out these policies more effectively. A lot of the citizens have participated, and we can see that people are very interested in this. And the third one was about the helping people to transfer their loans so that they will have lower interest rate. So about 1.5 million Korean won worth of interest rate payment have been reduced for each people, and ISA taxation has been expanded. So and we have also revised proposed to revise the tax law as well. And the transportation reform has also been provided. So projects that has not been implemented as much as we wanted have been carried out and implemented in a swift manner, and this will lead to a virtuous cycle of the economy. First of all, GTX-A line from Suseok and Dongtan has been launched in March, and the commute time has been reduced by 1/3, and without reservation, and they can use the transportation and also have discounts when they transfer. So on the first day, we had about 19,000 people using the GTS, and therefore the GTS has been very satisfied by the citizens because it reduced the time and also economic. So the GTS line has been initiated in January, and other lines will be initiated starting from next year so that all this can be implemented. Another proposal was about building an XTX that connects regional places, and this has been carried out without any setbacks and as planned. The Daejeon and Chuncheon DX is a private line, and they will go through the adequacy test. Daegu and Gyeongbuk province line will also go through the administrative procedures as fast as possible. Moreover, at the afternoon of today, in order to make it a project, we will have a meeting attended by the government departments and local departments and other professionals in order to discuss the issue. And in February, during the policy decisions, we have promised the strengthening of these small size businesses. So we have revised the added value tax law in February. So I went to the traditional markets, and whenever I meet these small businesses, I heard these difficulties that these businesses face, and that I received a lot of the requests to expand and increase the value-added tax standard to about 80 million Korean won. And I have pushed forward to revise it without going through the official revision of the law, and the government will continue to
금융권과
assist
정부가
these small
함께
businesses. In addition, the economic sector and the government have refunded about 2 trillion Korean won worth of debt, and for the transfer of these debts in order to alleviate the burdens faced by these small businesses.
노력해 주신
So everyone have participated, and I would like to thank all the management of the banks in assisting this, and the government will make sure that the banking businesses is more activated and will benefit the citizens, and do hope for the assistance and interest of the banking sector. And on the 21st discussions held in March, we have discussed about the youth resident. So we have received a lot of requests to support the residential places of the youth. So I told the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport to build a project on residential places for the youth. So we are trying to come up with measures in various perspectives. The government will increase the productivity and competitiveness of the industry, and also make sure that the livelihood of the employees are guaranteed. In addition, increasing the rights of those who have not signed up for a labor union will be guaranteed by the government. So coordination between the labor and economy industry is very important, and the government needs to take an important role in mediating them. So the government will need to take care of those who are not part of the labor unity. So the government will support those who are not part of these labor units, and therefore the government will push forward to build a center to support these people. And the standard for some of the policies have been a little bit disadvantageous for newlyweds. So this time, we will change this. The 버팀목 yearly based rent is less than 50 million Korean won, and for the newlyweds it is 75 million Korean won, and that is why the newlyweds are not signing their wedding engagement because they need to gain more liabilities and more debt, and therefore, and we will also provide more subsidies to for childbirth, and in addition, the total additive of the couple is currently about 38 million Korean won, but we will add more, and we will increase it to about 44 million Korean won for the newlyweds to receive subsidies. Increasing the birth rate is most priority, and what is important is that these couples are not burdened by fostering their child. Currently, the payment that these newlyweds and these married couples need to pay for people who take care of their child is amount that they cannot afford. In Korea, there are a lot of people. We will make sure that we will have other foreigners who are staying in Korea to be able to help these couples raise child and make job opportunities for them. And this will lead to a more flexible market. And this is about having a lot of foreign students in Korea and foreign workers. They are fluent in English and they have adapted to the Korean economy and society, and therefore I believe that it will be helpful for them to actually assist and work as a nanny. And we will discuss with the Ministry of Justice and make sure that parents can feel safe in using these nannies who are from foreign countries. Another matters that have been discussed during policy discussions will be implemented as fast as possible. In February 26th, in the Chungnam Seosan public policy discussions, has dismantled about 1 trillion won worth of military sites. On March 4th, at the Daegu discussions, Daegu and Gyeongbuk new airport law has been pushed forward by having related personnel participate in meetings. And also, we will make sure and review that the projects that the citizens actually want are being reviewed thoroughly. And after the Jeonnam public policy discussions with the citizens, the fishery industry have requested to thoroughly review and monitor illegal fishery by China, and this is also being very thoroughly reviewed. The main character, the star of the policy discussions, is the citizens. The government will not decide these policies based on the policies of buyer's perspective, but listen to the citizens' opinions and seek agendas and push forward these agendas on the perspective of the citizens. This is the kind of policy that the the citizens want, the working government and the acting government. We will make sure that the citizens will actually tangibly feel the changes in their livelihoods, and therefore through these public policy discussions, we will communicate actively with the citizens. Today we have communication experts and will listen and review the policy discussions. So we have a lot of ministers participating in today's meeting, and we do hope that you will all speak out on the policy discussions with an open mind. Regardless of the region, we need to discuss and we need to make public policy discussions solely based on what is necessary for the citizens. Thank you.
That was our special live coverage of the second round of policy discussions with citizens follow-up meeting. We'll bring you more details on the meeting at our upcoming newscast at noon Korea time. Thanks for watching.